Listen, something is happening in the boys' universe that nobody is prepared for. And Gen V Season 2 didn't just end, it quietly detonated a fuse that's been burning since Season 1 of The Boys. But here's the crazy part, most fans watched the finale and said, yeah, cool cameos, cool battle, predictable ending, and completely missed the real message: the war has already begun. We're not waiting for The Boys' final season. We're already in it. Let me ask you a question. Did you notice how calm Homelander was at the end of Season 4? Not angry, not emotional, calm. That's the most terrifying version of him. Because calm means prepared, calm means there's a plan. And Gen V just showed us exactly what that plan is. But to understand it, you have to look at everything they didn't say out loud. The small reactions, the uncomfortable silences, the tiny emotional cracks the writers thought we wouldn't catch. So sit back, stay with me. Because for the next few minutes, I want you to forget everything you thought you understood about Gen V, The Boys, and what comes next. We're going to pull back the curtain, piece by piece. And I promise you, by the end of this breakdown, you'll never see any of these characters the same way again. The lie they wanted you to believe: everyone thought the finale was about Godolkin, the mortal puppet master, the big bad science experiment from the 1960s. Cool villain, creepy smile, great ability. But Godolkin was never the threat. He was a distraction, something flashy enough to keep your eyes pointed away from the real enemy, Sister Sage. Let me repeat that clearly. Godolkin was the weapon. Sister Sage is the one holding the trigger. She is the only person in the entire universe with the intelligence to predict Homelander's moves, manipulate Vought, understand power structures, and play every single side without being caught. She isn't strong. She doesn't need to be, because she is the only character who can outthink Homelander. And Tiate is more dangerous than laser eyes. A Sage mentioned Phase 2 once. Just one sentence. In Season 4 of The Boys. Quick, easy to miss. But Gen V Season 2, that wasn't a setup. That wasn't a tease. That wasn't world building. That was preparation, a silent recruitment, a training ground, a filtering process, a psychological conditioning program masked as university chaos. The real purpose of Godolkin University wasn't education. It was sorting. Sorting supes into 3 categories. Type: purpose, easily controlled pawns, unpredictable but powerful weapons, independent thinkers, threats to eliminate. And Marie and her group, they weren't heroes, they were test subjects. Sage wasn't just watching them, she was studying them. And when she let Polarity fight Godolkin, that wasn't betrayal. That was data collection. Who panics? Who rebels? Who hesitates? Who chooses violence? Who chooses loyalty? You think that final fight was cool choreography? No. That was a final exam. The real twist: nobody is talking about when Harper stole Godolkin's powers. The entire scene felt like just another Gen V battle moment. But look closer. Think deeper. This means something terrifying. Powers in this universe are no longer stable identities. They are transferable weapons. And if powers can be transferred, they can be replicated. They can be scaled. They can be mass-produced. We are watching the birth of an army. Not random supes. Not celebrity superheroes. Not the Seven. A controlled military force of engineered beings who don't question orders, don't pursue fame, don't break under pressure, and don't hesitate to kill. This is not just a superhero story anymore. This is militarized evolution. And Sister Sage is designing the blueprint. The cameos weren't fan service. They were a declaration. When Starlight appeared, it wasn't a friendly moment. It was a recruitment call. When A-Train said, "You guys are rebels now, let's act like it," it wasn't a punchline. It was a threat. Rebels. Not heroes, not survivors, not students. Rebels. Against who? Against Homelander. Against Vought. Against a world where supes rule unchecked. This isn't about saving people. This is about choosing sides. Because in The Boys Season 5, there are only 2 options: serve Homelander or die fighting him. And every Gen V character who survives Season 2 has already made their choice, whether they realize it or not. But here's the part that changes everything. 6 months passed between Gen V Season 2 and The Boys Season 5. 6 months off screen. 6 months we don't get to see. 6 months where Sister Sage is free to prepare. 6 months where Homelander is free to transform. 6 months where the world slowly shifts into something darker, colder, more controlled. And when Season 5 begins, it won't feel like the world we remember. Because the takeover already happened. We just didn't see it. And listen, if you're someone who actually cares about the deeper strategy, the hidden motives, the psychological warfare under the surface of these shows, then stay. Subscribe. Because we don't just recap episodes here. We decode intentions. Now, before we go any further, I want you to really think about something. Because this is the part where most viewers get uncomfortable. Why did Starlight look so tired? So drained? So done? It's not just because she's been fighting Homelander and Vought for years. It's because she finally understands the truth. You don't beat power with justice. You beat power with more power. And that's the exact philosophy Gen V was created to explore. The evolution of The Boys storytelling. When The Boys first started, the question was simple: what if superheroes were corrupt? But Gen V shifts the question. It asks something way darker. What if corruption isn't the problem? What if corruption is the system? Marie, Sam, Emma, Jordan, they weren't studying to become heroes. They were being programmed to become weapons. And the finale proved that they finally realized it. That moment when they escape campus, that's not freedom. That's defection. That's the moment the government officially labels them enemies. They didn't just run away from school. They ran away from the institution that made them. That's rebellion. That's war. And let's talk about Marie for a second. Marie is the emotional center of Gen V, the heart, the guilt, the trauma. But in the finale, did you notice something strange? She didn't cry. She didn't break. She didn't collapse under pressure. She stepped forward, with purpose, with certainty. That wasn't survival. That was leadership. And there's a reason Starlight specifically looked at her first. Not Sam, not Jordan, not Emma. Her. Because Marie is the only one who has power without ego, trauma without denial, anger without chaos. She is the anti-Homelander. Not because she is better, but because she is what Homelander could never be. A person capable of feeling guilt and not running from it. And that makes her dangerous. Because guilt, when it hardens, becomes conviction. Let me ask you, do you think Marie is being set up to kill Homelander or to save Ryan from becoming him? Think about it. Which role is more powerful? Which role hurts Homelander more? Tell me in the comments. I want to know where you stand and why. Now Sam. Sam is the tragedy of the show. He is the emotional grenade waiting to explode. Every moment he smiles, there's something broken behind it. Every time he laughs, there's something trembling underneath. Sam is not a hero. Sam is not a villain. Sam is a trauma survivor who never had a chance to become anything else. And Gen V Season 2 ended with Sam in a terrifying position. He has power without guidance, emotion without direction. Sam joining Starlight's resistance doesn't mean stability. It means volatility, it means unpredictability, and unpredictability in a war. That changes everything. Because Sam isn't fighting against something, Sam is fighting to feel something. And those kinds of fighters are the ones capable of crossing lines even Homelander hesitates to cross.